It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and comics from all over. We ended up in Japan because we know who let the dogs out. The Talk Funny podcast from Nagoyaradio.com and Nagoyacomedy. Here's Mark Bailey.
And we're back to Talk Funny. Mark Bailey with Garrett Groesbeck. I'm sorry, people that don't watch Orange is the New Black. I'm in the middle of binging this, so we're kind of talking about it. And just one, I promise, one last comment.
Welcome back to your Orange is the New Black recap show.
Gay is the new orange, is the old Jewish, is the new black.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. And 15 seconds of silence now from Garrett in protest.
Not silence, but a gasp.
So I promise the last thing. We were talking about characters we didn't like in Orange is the New Black. So Piper's fiance, who cares what his name is? He plays a Jew, but he's not Jewish. He's an Italian guy from American Pie. It doesn't. You can Google his name. It's not important. And I didn't really like him. And he was kind of. Why did you not like him?
Because his story was boring.
Oh, so his story of the girl cheated on me. She's my.
Who hasn't had that happen to them? Honestly, if you think about it, I don't tune into TV to watch. A little closer.
Oh,
sorry. Okay, get up on this.
Yeah, he was a little too shocked that he didn't have a clue that that she had lesbian affairs before.
Yeah.
Before she met him, I think. Mm-hmm. Right, and then it comes back.
Once again, recurring theme of this show: people are terrible, and they do terrible things to each other.
Yeah.
Not anticipating that is really just a lack of foresight, I think.
Yeah, so I didn't like his character. I don't know if that's the writer's fault. I don't know. But, they can't...
His acting isn't terrible.
It's not that bad, but he's, I think he was probably cast to get the non-lesbian girls on, because he's kind of... I mean, I find him attractive as well. He's attractive. He is attractive.
There is one of the American Pie movies where his penis is visible, squished down by a clear pot lid. So if any of you women out there are into that, seeing just a sort of flattened, squished penis under a clear lid of a pot. Very racy, these American Pie series, I tell you.
Yeah, exactly. And then Piper, really, I don't sympathize with her character because she cheats on people, and then when they cheat back on her, she's shocked.
She's flabbergasted.
The whole point of the series is, when you cheat on me, how dare you? When I cheat on you, what did you expect? Is that do you think you've seen more than I have?
Oh, so as I said, humans are terrible. So
right. So that's basically it, right? So I like that.
They cheat on their partners and then expect their partners not to cheat on them.
So it's like Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm in prison. Right, so Larry David's whole thing is everybody's an a-hole, right, including him, and he's the best a-hole, right?
Indeed, he is. Yeah, I have not seen enough of that to really be authoritative, but
he'll get some chip on the shoulder from being mistreated at a doctor's office, and he will mistreat everyone else with that. Injustice that has been forced on him. He will mistreat everyone else that way. And then they're like, why are you such a jerk? He's like, because somebody was a jerk to me first. But you're not supposed to be a jerk. So yeah, that person was wrong, but 15 wrongs does not make a right,
Once again, humans are terrible.
Yeah, it's really tempting for Garrett because he's seen a lot more than I have for Orange is the New Black. But we talked about a few characters that we liked. And I'm not part of the LGBT QIA plus community, but it's entertaining drama no matter who or what you are or where you come from.
Gay people can tell good stories sometimes too,
and
the majority of gay cinema is not worth watching, but every now and then.
Well, if you had a PG gay film, I could take my kids to see that.
What homosexual would go and watch a film that didn't have something that was over PG in it? Goodness gracious. Angels in America. I recommend Angels in America.
Oh, really?
Very Jewish.
Oh, really?
How to say that?
I may have seen that. Tom Hanks?
The HBO version, not Tom Hanks, but Meryl Streep is in it.
Okay, right.
So,
the last thing I'll say about it, if you have anything else about Orange is the New Black,
watch it.
Was
that creepy? I'm sorry.
No,
watch it.
I was very hesitant at first, but I'm liking it more and more. And then this is what happened like with a lot of these series. And then as soon as you're like, I'm going to die if I don't get to see another episode, and then it's canceled and it's gone.
Of course. Indeed. Well, Netflix, they're very good at that.
Yeah. If you watch it as a comic, there is so much material. I'll see there's a lady that plays the character of Crazy Eyes. I think I can't remember if I mentioned
Uzo Aduba.
Again, her name?
Uzo Aduba. It's kind of like an Uzi.
It sounds like a drink. 2 Uzo Adubas.
Hello. Could I have 2 Uzo
Shaken,
Adubas?
not stirred. So I love her, and I watch her, and I'm like, this is vaudeville. She's a comic. I don't even know if she's done stand-up, but she's a comic. She's basically a comedic actress.
I hope she's done stand-up.
She's funny. I would pay. I would pay to see her. She's just so physical in her eyes and just amazing.
The expression.
She's like a black Pee Wee Herman.
She'd be very popular in Japan. Basically.
She's like Whoopi Goldberg if Whoopi Goldberg was funny and had material. See what I did there? We recommend you watch that. It's good for comics. Actually, I did this on stage before. But at the very beginning of season 1, when Piper is going to prison, she knows she's going to prison. She knows. She's talking to her fiancé. And all these things she's going to do in prison. I don't know if you got this as a comic, but I picked up right away on it. And I know it was written intentionally for comics. She goes, I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm going to do reading. I'm going to work out. I'm going to get ripped. I'm going to get ripped in prison. I'm like, yeah, watch your vowels. I'm going to get ripped in prison. I know that has to be intentional, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
She said it several times. So I'm like, I get that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch a few more episodes.
She's going to get real ripped.
Ripped with a Russian accent. And then this Alex Voss character keeps coming back, and it's kind of like, it's very Shakespearean. It's like Hamlet. It's like, by the way, Godfather and Godfather 2 are basically kind of Hamlet.
Yeah.
They're retellings of Hamlet. Godfather 3, Al Pacino says, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. And that's like with Piper and her lesbian girlfriend, Alex Voss. And
just when I thought it was out, she sticks it back in.
She puts it back in, and it's like, when you hear the name, after all the things Alex Voss has done to her, and you hear the name Alex Voss, it's like, don't you hear background music? Dun, dun, dun.
I hear the sounds of gushing streams.
Well, I hear Dune.
I don't know where that liquid may be coming from, but I just hear...
But no, when I hear Alex Voss, isn't that a lesbian term for Darth Vader? Alex Voss is the villain in this whole thing.
True.
Right?
The sexy villain.
When she's hot. And when you hear, it's like even the guard is like, yeah, I caught her, and then the hot one. It's like, the hot one? Which one of us is the hot one? Well,
I have to say, I read the book that was written by the woman that Alex Voss was based on, and she was like, yeah, it was weird to watch a fictionalized TV series about my own life, but on the other hand, who wouldn't like to see Donna from that 70s show getting it on with a hot blonde?
Oh, yeah. So, wait a minute. So, I didn't read the book, so I thought the book was written by the Piper character.
There are 2 books.
Oh, okay.
After the show came out, the woman that Alex Voss was based on came out with her own scandalous, very interesting, I highly recommend it, book.
When I hear Alex Voss's name on the series, I hear Alex Voss, what a jerk, Alex Voss, screw you over, Alex Voss, the Darth Vader theme.
Put your tongue in my... So, this is a family show.
When I see her, though, it's like, oh my God, she's going to screw you over one more time. It's like Piper keeps pulling her back in, Alex keeps... sticking the knife, we'll call it knife, in her.
For censorship reasons.
And she throws her away, never again, don't contact, and then back. It's like, it's like the neutrons, neutrons and electrons. You got the electrons, keep your distance, okay, kiss one time. Keep your distance, okay, kiss one time. So, Garrett has a story about Nagmag.
Well, what happened?
First, let me explain. Nagmag is a magazine. I used to work for it when it was called The Alien back in the 90s.
It was called The Alien?
It was called The Alien, and I wrote a lot of stories. And back then, they were paying 1,000 yen an article for comic stories. And After 1 week in my stupid Eikaiwa job, I'm like, I quit radio for this. It was a black and white, kind of like Mad Magazine. And I started writing for them and practice writing material, and I still use a lot of that stuff on stage now. It was a really good experience, and they actually paid for it. And that's really important for comics, because if you don't get paid, you don't write. They changed management, and it's like Nagmag, and it was Japan Scene.
Well, what happened today? I'm working at a company that does Japanese cultural events and travel. And of course, a big part of that is speaking English. And so this morning, we had our morning meeting where we shout words at each other in Japanese. But before the morning meeting, we usually do language practice of some kind, Japanese or English, because more than one of our employees are not Japanese. And we advertise in Nagmag, and occasionally we read articles from the magazine as a sort of English practice. And today, my boss pulled out the magazine, and the article that he had chosen to study as our English text was Japanese government decides to ban vegans from the country.
Wow.
And I had to...
That's not a true story.
My Japanese coworkers were shocked, but that was not in fact factual.
It's a parody.
It was a American joke,
right,
that was written in Nagmag, and I found myself having to explain in Japanese that this article was not factual
true
per se.
Fake news. Fake news. We got the best fake news.
We have the most amusing... I can't do that person.
That's the problem, is that when the Alien, it was all comedy, so you knew all the headlines were fake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
okay.
But then Japan Scene and Nagmag, they will do some, like, there's a new bar, they'll do some articles, this is a new bar,
yeah,
it's barbecue bar,
yeah,
and, half price on Sundays.
Yeah.
And then, but you don't know if that's a parody or not, so you show up on Sunday, and there is no bar. There's nothing there. It's a parody. It's like, so you can't have, like, New York Times can't have New York Times / Mad Magazine.
Of course.
You need to have separate issues.
Or
Page
at least
5 can't
you
be Mad
need
Magazine.
to have an awareness of tone, which is difficult in the
Real news, page 2, 4, 6, and 8. Fake news, page 1, 3, 5. Fake news on page 1, that's probably a problem. That's probably... Mad Magazine on page 1. We're all dead. What?
Well, we are,
North Korea just attacked English teachers in Nagoya. What? Because I'm kind of an English teacher.
I guess I'm not a real English teacher.
So did you contact them?
I read the article out loud, and my coworkers repeated it.
Great.
Using my pronunciation as a guide.
Were you able to convey that it's a parody? That it's not true?
Barely.
Right.
By the end of the 15 minutes that we spent reading through it, because it talked about Japanese celebrities on TV squealing as they ingest various foods and screaming oishi. So
a long time ago I wrote for Alien, and I said, you can watch Japanese TV. And I hate Japanese TV. It's so predictable. But I said, not that it's...
What? Predictable?
Not that it's a predictable show, but you can watch them eat food on TV, and then you can have a drinking game. Like, if they say oishi, you drink 1 shot, and if they say umai, you drink 2 shots.
Okay.
And after 12 minutes, you're all in, comas.
And if you see a beer commercial where they go... then you have to down the whole.
So what I thought for a TV show would be great is if you have people, and when they eat the food, they just spit it out onto the camera and they go, "Nante kore."
The closest I've ever seen to that was where they tried a local variation on curry, which was curry udon, but with kind of bizarre
I've
shrimp.
Eaten that.
Yeah, and the closest I've ever heard Japanese TV celebrities come to condemning a food was being like, "Kore dou kana? Gohan no hou ga ii kana?"
Eating weeds from the bottom of the ocean would be better than this. Seaweed would be better.
Oh,
Actually, I do prefer seaweed to that.
I was an ALT for 3 years, and I will continue to describe the Japanese shokubunka food culture curriculum as conditioning the students to eat willingly and with no resistance